Hi, Chad here from Rogue Retreat. So glad to be back with you on Life Skills. And man, I'm excited because we're putting plans together to get back in person again. And I really missed that. And if you're brand new to Rogue Retreat and you don't know what Life Skills is in person, you're in for a treat. It's worth the hour that we spend together, and I hope that you will make that a priority because we get to share a little bit, we get to hear about people's successes, we get to celebrate together. It's powerful. You get to meet staff and get to figure out what they do and how that affects you, and it's a great thing. This week we're talking about sleep, and I think maybe the overall thing, and I won't repeat what everybody else is going to do, but just balance is a big deal. You know, do we have balance in our life? And a lot of times before people get to Rogue Retreat, they've gotten out of balance in some certain way, you know, whether it's an addiction issue that takes them down a path or a mental health issue that takes them down another path. And then sometimes we just kind of get out of control. And the cool thing about putting our lives back together is to find that balance. And that includes sleep. That includes just doing things to take care of ourselves, the way we eat, the things that we get involved with, the personal, private times that we need to kind of refresh ourselves every day. When we get that balance, it's a big deal. And enough sleep is a big deal. You know, I know that when I was back in college, people would do all-nighters to prepare for a test. You know, those people never did as well as the people that just, you know, studied on a regular, consistent basis and had that discipline and then slept every night. They did so much better in those tests. So I hope you enjoyed this Life Skills, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in just a few weeks.
It's October 2010. I'm freaking out. Sirens are blaring above me. I'm laying on a stretcher in the back of an ambulance. My doctor just told me I'm having a heart attack. I'm trembling. My arms are tingling, and this pain in my chest is crushing me from the inside. Tracy and the kids have no idea where I am. I might never get to hold them again. This can't be happening. My life cannot be over. And yet here I am, probably dying. But it doesn't happen. Instead, I get extracted from my good life and thrust into a reality out of my control. I've got tubes jammed in my veins, sensors covering my chest, and a cold silver bedpan waiting patiently beside me. I also get to wear this unflattering hospital gown while they administer every possible test they can charge my insurance company for. On the third day of this drama, my doctor walks in and announces, "Well, good news, Jim. You're healthy as a horse. No heart attack, just some really bad anxiety." And then he asks me, "Now, what's a healthy man like you having so much anxiety for? What's your life like?" Well, then I got to confess about the morning routine I've developed being a drummer in a band on the road. When I wake up in the morning, I crack open a can of Red Bull so that I can wake up enough to drink a pot of coffee. Then I drink several more cans through the day. I also fess up about eating too much sugar, like 4 bowls of Lucky Charms before bed too much, and that for some reason I have trouble sleeping. Even though I am chronically exhausted, I usually get about 4 hours of sleep per night. The doctor's face turns somber. He looks at me and he says, "Jim, this is a get-out-of-jail-free card. I want you to know there was a man who came in the day before you, a year younger than you, with a similar condition, and who died this morning. Today you have a chance to make changes that will let you see your kids grow up. 4 hours of sleep per night is sleep deprivation, and there is no quicker way to die early than to skimp on sleep, especially with all the crap you're consuming. You need at least 7 hours to stay healthy." 7 hours. I haven't gotten that much rest in a long time, and now my body's breaking down. I know I've got to do something, or my next trip here might not end well. Soon I would discover something that changed my life from that moment on. The key to falling asleep is rhythm. This discovery came from my need to solve a lifelong problem. Ever since I was a kid, at bedtime, I can never get my mind to stop thinking. Sometimes it will be a worry, other times a song will get stuck in my head and just loop around and around. When I got home from the hospital, I decided to do some research, and so I researched sleep and the effects of sleep deprivation, which I learned include heart attack, stroke, weight gain, and just as my doctor had told me, premature death. I also read a Harvard Business study that shows the impairment that happens at 4 hours of sleep per night is similar to the impairment that happens when a guy my size drinks 5 regular beers. Then I came across some startling statistics. In the US alone, 35% of adults, that's 86 million of us, are sleep deprived. What's worse? 87% of teenagers. That's 36 million kids whose brains are still developing, are chronically sleep deprived. Worldwide, scientists are calling sleep deprivation an emerging global epidemic, with low-income people and women being affected the most. I know I've got to do something, and so I let go of the energy drinks. I cut way back on coffee, and I even give up my nightly Lucky Charm feast. And it helps a little bit. But at bedtime, I still cannot get my mind to stop thinking. On my way home from work that week, an idea hit me. I don't know why I hadn't thought of it before. Since 1999, I've been leading drumming workshops. At the beginning of these programs, I lead an exercise where the group and I drum together a steady unison pattern like this. Boom, 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 boom. We do this for a few minutes. At the end, without fail, people tell me that the exercise helps them to feel more relaxed. It had never occurred to me that I could do the exercise without my drum. And so that night, I did an experiment. At bedtime, I sat at the edge of my bed, and I brought my hands to my lap, and I began doing my drumming exercise on my legs very lightly. Upon seeing my strange behavior, my wife Tracy looked over at me, rolled her eyes, and just turned out the light. But I kept at it. I wanted to find out if I could get the exercise to work. And at first, nothing happened. But then after about 4 minutes of persistence, I noticed my eyelids starting to get heavy. I was yawning, and I decided just to lay down and shut my eyes for a minute. When I opened them again, it was morning. I slept a solid 7.5 hours with no struggle falling asleep. And most nights since 2010, I've been getting the best sleep of my life. And I do it using an exercise I'm going to show you today that I call brain tapping. Now, this exercise uses a phenomenon that happens in the brain. It's called the frequency following response. This is a very fancy way of saying that your brain loves to follow repeating rhythmic patterns. Essentially, your brain first notices that there's a pattern, it connects with it, and it begins to follow it. Whenever you listen to your favorite music and do this, that's the frequency following response happening. What we're going to do is we're going to help that frequency following response to occur. We're going to activate it, and then we're going to help to slow the speed of your brain activity down by slowing down the rhythm. Now, there might be a few of you out there right now that are thinking to yourself, does this hippie really want me to believe that I can use rhythm to help me fall asleep? Really? And what I would say back to you is, what if I could? What if I could show you how to fall asleep tonight in less time than it takes you to eat a bowl of cereal? Would you try it? Now, here's the great news. You do not need to be good at rhythm for this to work, only willing to try. Here's what happens. The exercise, it's 30 seconds. What we're going to do is bring our hands to our lap like this. We're going to be tapping at the speed of a ticking stopwatch, so right, left, very lightly. As we do this, we're going to breathe slowly. At the end, we're going to slow the rhythm down. So, if you're willing, I want to invite you just to settle in. Take a big breath in. Begin very lightly tapping on your legs at the speed of a ticking stopwatch. Right, left, right, left, right, left. If you're comfortable, I want to invite you just to close your eyes so you can get the full experience. Next, we're going to do a very slow breathing technique. Your job is just to do your best and take breaks if you need them. So eyes are closed, we're tapping lightly, and let's start the breathing. Breathing in slowly, 2, 3, it's very slow, 4, and slowly out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, doing great, 2, 3, 4, and slowly out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, almost there, 2, 3, 4, and slowly out, 2, very good, 3, 4. And now slow the tapping down and slow it down again. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a moment to notice how your mind feels. Let's take a big breath in and let it go. You can open your eyes. Now, I saw a couple of you yawning. And I take that as a compliment, so thank you. If you got the exercise to work the first time, congratulations. You've got a new friend you can call on tonight to help you get to sleep. If the exercise didn't work as you hoped it would, don't worry, you're not broken. Sometimes it takes a few tries to get used to the exercise. Please don't give up. Now, imagine getting great sleep from now on. Imagine how much better you'll feel. And then imagine people all over the world doing this exercise and getting better quality sleep. Imagine how that might affect peacefulness everywhere. I've got a challenge for you. For the next 5 nights, I want to invite you just to run the exercise for at least 3 minutes. Remember, tap like a ticking stopwatch, breathe slowly, and at the end, slow the rhythm down. Once you're comfortable with it, I want you to feel free to teach it to anyone who needs it, especially kids. Good luck and sweet dreams. Thank you.
So we don't always think about sleep and how important that is. I know for me on the weekends, that's my time to get things done. And it's also sometimes my time to catch up on sleep. But I don't always get to bed on time. Then I have to sleep in and then I'm tired. So I liked the example of using rhythm to get to sleep, just that tapping action. It really does something to your brain. And of course, I don't understand everything about brain science, but it is fascinating. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about the COVID vaccine. I know maybe not everybody is interested in getting that, but for those of you who are, we have some free clinics coming up at the expo, and I know there are others around town, but I just wanted to highlight the one at the expo for this week. We're going to go ahead and post the flyer after this so you can see it, or maybe before, I'm not sure where it's going to go. But it has the times and dates on it, And if that's something that you're considering, this is maybe a good time to do it. It's getting warm out, the weather's nice, it's just a good time to be feeling well. And hopefully as we move into spring and summer, we'll all just find a little bit more freedom. And for now, if you're still worried about and we should be wearing our masks, we should be doing all the things that are recommended, but really taking a walk outside. You can get out in the fresh air, take that mask off for a little bit, just get some clean air breathed into your lungs. And another thing that I was thinking about is, and I need to do this because I forget, but if you're using cloth masks, remember to wash them every now and then. We're kind of breathing in our own expelled air, and that can't really be the best for us. But as long as you're keeping them clean, and of course when you're at home, you don't have to wear them. But I know it's been a hard season for a lot of people. I know it has been for us here as well. And I just want to thank you for your resilience as you continue to meet with your case managers. You continue to do the next right thing day after day. And I want to applaud you for the work that you've done, and just thank you. So we are going to be starting up. Plans are in motion to return to live life skills on May 3rd. So for those of you who have not been a part of our program for long, we used to do this every week, and at the church, at the Methodist Church downtown. But because of COVID, we had to stop. So we're getting ready to restart, and we have to do it a little bit differently. So on the first Monday of every month, the plan is for anyone living in the apartments or the houses. So that would be our Havens, it would be Summit House. Anyone from those, you're going to be the first Monday night of the month. And it'll be from 6 to 7 at the Methodist Church downtown. On the second week of every month, we're going to have Kelly Shelter and Hope Village. So if you're from one of those facilities, then you will be on the second Monday of the month from 6 to 7. And that'll give us an opportunity to get together. Of course, wear your masks. We're going to have all the sanitizing things there. We're going to do all that and take care of it so that you can be safe. But we're going to have some speakers coming in. We're going to have some staff members sharing some ideas on how to move forward. So it's going to be fun and exciting. Chad's going to be there. I'm going to be there. So it'll be a great time. And we would love to see you face to face. I've been talking to this camera for months and just envisioning you all on the other side of it. And so I'm anxious to meet a lot of you face to face for the first time. So, well, that's it for this week. And as always, we love you, we care about you, and we will see you next week.